Join me in the sunshine.
Welcome, episode number 2, Sunny Side Up podcast. You're here, we're here. It's a date, kind of.
The second one.
The second one.
Sweet.
Yep. Man, the first one was fun.
Yeah.
We learned a lot.
We did learn a lot.
You know, but we're back at it with the new get up kind of new table.
What's new?
Well, you know, maybe not everybody can see it, especially if they're just listening to the audio version.
Right.
Which, shout out to our YouTube, Sunny Side Up Podcast.
Right.
If you're not on YouTube, you should be, because we do an after the podcast deal. And you know, it's just, we got a new setup. We got like a board, or like a table.
This budget.
If you can count how many I just said, I might mail you something. You may win the non-prize we have sitting right here.
Sunny
Right
Side
here.
Up T-shirts come in.
Yes.
Those
Yeah.
are on
You know,
order.
we should do that.
We I have.
Oh.
But apparently you have to send money to these companies in order for them to make T-shirts.
No, that's lame. We don't need to do that. We just want the T-shirts.
Yeah, just send us a T-shirt
Yeah,
with a Sunny
shout out.
Side Up logo on it. We're
Shout
good.
out
It's
to
right.
whoever.
Someone make that for us.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. So, man, a lot going on, a lot happening.
Yeah.
You know, first of all, I hurt really bad.
Yeah, he does. He's a moron.
Yeah.
Your
So,
own fault.
if you're watching the YouTube part, hello to the video. You can see it behind me. That helped me survive just yesterday, as I'm recording this.
And for those of you that don't have the video version, it's a motorcycle
It is a
helmet.
motorcycle helmet.
By the way,
That was gnarly.
I'm Alan Klepper.
I'm Brandon Klepper,
I'm Angel.
soon to be Klepper.
Yeah.
There it is. So, welcome. This is the Sunny Side Up podcast. But I hurt. I do.
You do.
I hurt bad. Doing the motocross thing, we talked about it in the first episode. You know, there's no denying. I got to talk about it.
Right.
I'm training. There is a race coming up at the end of this month of July that few friends and I are going to go do, and I've been training for it.
Yeah.
And I was pinned on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Had the throttle wide open on a berm, and the berm gave out. I proceeded to tuck my bars into
This is a family show. You can't talk about tucking your bar.
my groin. The handlebars.
Oh, the handle. I was like, what is he talking
The
about?
only one in that state of mind. But if we're
Okay.
talking about a family show, it
Yeah.
hit me in the non-family oriented place almost.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it is bruised and it hurts. And I hate it. I hate it so much. But shout out to Bell Helmets right there for helping me. I drug my head on the ground as it was going. If you've ever done that, it really hurts.
Yeah. No, you
But-
don't want to do that.
I see you.
Hey, Angel, have
talking
you
about
ever
some
drug
news.
your head on the?
Can't say I have.
Yeah. No. Well, see, we're going to teach her how to ride, and so that's going to be...
no, but-
Let's hope she doesn't do that, because that really hurt yesterday. I still feel it. It's not fun.
That's true.
You have a lot of news over there. I think
just
we
got
should start on
stuff,
that.
And here's the question I want to ask you: Do we go with crazy animals first or crazy people first?
I think we start with the animals, because people
Yeah.
are more stupid than animals. I'm just going
Well,
to
not
say it.
necessarily.
Well,
But
yeah.
it's just crazy people and crazy animals.
Let's talk about it. What do you have over there for us?
First of all, this is all true stuff. I didn't make any of this up.
Okay.
Not a single bit of this is fiction.
Okay.
Just this past week, Tennessee woman finds snake in apartment toilet.
Wow. Not fun.
I've heard
No.
that a lot.
Yeah. She's in an apartment. Said the maintenance crew taped the toilet shut, told her a pest control expert would soon visit her home.
You can't, but you can't
There's
go to the
a
bathroom.
snake in your
You
toilet.
can't go to the bathroom.
No.
There's a snake in here, but
Go at your own risk.
don't worry. We'll come back.
Well, you know, the thing is, you expect this kind of stuff to happen in the Wild West or third world countries. No, this was Tennessee in Middle Valley. She literally popped the seat up off her toilet, and the snake was waiting for her.
Well,
and
it's
it was
just
a
like
big snake
alligators getting into people's houses,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, what do I do now?"
too. And it was like a 3-4 foot long snake. It wasn't like a garter snake.
I'm not about that. I
Then-
sell it.
Then
Rent it out.
Yeah. Then there's the dive bombing bird attacks Colorado joggers.
You know, I've heard about dive bombing a lot from birds
Yeah.
just recently,
Now,
so this
one-
is interesting.
Apparently, this one is actually making contact with the joggers. I don't know, because the birds, if you go by their nest or something, they swoop down, that kind of thing. But this dude is like landing on people's bodies and peck, 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 peck.
Good.
There were some
Great.
of those birds. We were walking down on the rock road at my parents.
Yeah.
There's some of those birds that make their nests in those rocks, like on the ground, and
Killdeer.
they'll act like they're dead
They're
or
killdeers.
hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of them on that street, and they were acting like they were hurt. And then when
Yeah.
we would try to get close to them,
Mhm.
they'd start running at us.
Can I do my killdeer impersonation?
Let's not. You're gonna make
Please.
people ears
Just-
bleed.
No, I'll do it nicely.
Oh man.
Just to let me, and you tell me, Angel, if it doesn't sound like these birds.
that is a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of them over there.
no
You do a
thanks.
duck?
No,
All right.
I don't. Let's.
Anyway, this is a
That's not what
blackbird.
we're here for.
The red-winged blackbird attacking Colorado joggers.
Great.
Oh.
Then
That's just that makes
Yeah.
your fun. It makes your jogging a little more interesting. Like you have something to tell when you get home to your family. Like how was your jog? Like you just like it was great. No, I got attacked by some birds.
How did you train for a ninja warrior? Well, I just jogged along the Blackbird Trail.
Oh man, that's a good family dinner story right there. That's what I think that is.
Colorado dogs getting high while camping.
There's a lot of that going on. You know what good business investment is right now?
Have you heard this story? I'm trying to tell you the family version.
Okay, then let me
If you're
hear it.
I got to apologize. If you're eating breakfast, if you're eating at all, this might not be the time to hear this story.
Pause it, eat your breakfast,
There-
then unpause.
10 dogs have been brought into the local veterinarian, stoned out of their minds. Colorado's an at-will state of lighted up.
We're all
free will
getting
state.
there.
I'm not
We're
sure
all
of it.
getting there.
But apparently, in the hiking areas where people are camping, when you go camping out in the wilderness, and you're not talking in the Colorado mountains, you're not talking about a resort where they've got porta potties everywhere. You
Yeah.
have to use the bathroom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so you find a place away from your campsite, away from wild animals and you do your thing. Well, apparently, other people's dogs come along as people are hiking and find the other people's stuff they've doo-dooed, and they eat it.
Oh
What a
no.
dog! I mean, I don't want to be gross, but dogs do that,
Yeah.
right?
Let me guess.
But the doo-doo has been laced with some
Contaminated.
contaminated with marijuana.
Oh.
70-80% of the dog owners say they don't know where the pets found it, but the vet says they're lying.
I'm
He's
not
like,
sure.
"These-
I don't know. I'm not sure. I can hear that right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Could you just
Yeah.
imagine? I want to know the look on the dogs' faces when they came into the vet, high off their minds.
No, I guarantee you what
Just-
it was. Here's what the dog did. He's he's doing. His eyes are wide open.
Oh, he's great.
And he has eaten every
Yo,
bag.
somebody
of everything
throw
they
a
could
ball.
find. Yeah.
Someone throw a ball right now.
give me some Scooby snacks.
Oh my
And then
gosh.
finally,
Yes.
fourth weird animal story of the week:
Mm-hmm.
therapy cows.
Therapy cows.
Therapy cows. Have you heard this?
No, but I would
Apparently,
like to.
we've had like therapy dogs
Yes.
and therapy cats, and I think there's therapy ferrets and therapy hamsters.
Therapy
and therapy
everything.
now
it's an
therapy cows.
Therapy cows. I like I'm not sure how I feel about it. That's one of those weird feelings I'm getting, like a therapy cow. What does a therapy cow do for you? Like what?
Well, it makes you feel better.
How?
Angel
Well, they're
knows about
really
it.
like relaxed animals, so I mean, why wouldn't they?
Just sit
They're
there and
calm,
chill
they
with you?
hang out. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, what kind of activities do you do with your therapy cow?
Well, they eat hay.
Right.
You could.
So you eat
could
hay
sit,
with
you could
your
sit down and
therapy
eat some
cow.
lunch with your therapy cow.
But are you required to eat hay along
No,
with the cow?
No, that's not.
Or-
No.
But you just, I mean, so are you therapy for the cow as well as it's therapy for you, or
Well, I
what's
don't know.
going
I
on
mean,
there?
I mean, maybe if
it-
the cow's going through some stuff.
You
but-
know
Yeah.
exactly, and you know I'm a farm kid originally, country boy.
Yeah.
And so I've got this proposal. If you live in the country and you have cattle, this is a great way to make money off the city kids that don't know better. All right?
They're going to know now.
No, but here's my plan. You just get a rancher that's got cattle, and you ship in a whole bunch of people that don't know better, and you charge them $100 an hour to just go out in the pasture and walk amongst the cows. As long as you don't have a bull out there or anything, they're fairly tame.
No, they'll just hang out.
And
Yeah.
then you could quarterly. I've been thinking about this for a week now on this therapy cow thing. Each quarter of the year, you have a group of your clientele that you're
Yeah.
charging $100 an hour for therapy, quote unquote.
Yeah.
So each spring, when you're taking the cattle off the pasture, you could bring them in, charge them $100 an hour to work bringing the cattle off the pasture.
Okay, I'm into it.
When it's time to fix the fence, it's a therapy session with getting your hands dirty.
Oh, so I see what you're doing.
In the dead of the winter, when you've got to feed the cattle in the blowing snow, you charge them $100 an hour to go bond with the cattle.
Oh, that's a genius business
I'm just
idea.
telling you, therapy cows, it's the
keep
wave
it.
of the future.
It is the way of the future. That should be a T-shirt or like a.
You could bring them in for like a morning session, afternoon session.
Yeah.
Maybe feed them a little bit of lunch.
What if you brought your therapy cow everywhere with you though? Like this is my therapy
I would
cow,
do that.
Kim.
I don't know.
Hi.
I would 110% do that.
Would you
And
leash
nobody
it?
can tell you no because it's a therapy animal.
Would you leash it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
How big of a leash would you need for a
Use-
therapy cow?
You usually use a rope, like a rope, and
Okay.
a halter. Like they make
Cow harnesses.
cattle. Yeah.
Now, do you dress up your therapy cow? That's my question.
Yes.
Do you
Always
put
yes.
bows on
You
it?
got to give
Do
it a
you put-
cape.
110% yes.
Go
I
on
would get one
walks
of
with
those
your
like
therapy
really
cow.
fuzzy ones that have the curly hair.
And get her a sunny side. Got to be a cow.
Yes.
'Cause
You
it's
could,
gonna-
you could
By the
like,
way,
just like she did painted the logo on this thing.
you could do sunny side up.
the cow.
Yeah.
This is sunny side up, the
Yeah.
cow,
Sunny.
with the logo
Oh,
painted on
we
the
need a
side of the
cow.
cow. Now we need a cow. We can
need a
stuff it
cow.
back here. Don't worry about it. We can do it. I
Well,
think
no, we
do
could
it.
we could actually get a cow, a real life cow, and adopt Sunny,
Yeah.
and then keep a picture of her.
And then
but I don't
put her
want.
back
I
in
don't
the
think she's
set.
going to work back here.
Why not?
Because it's not.
Well, they make
that
miniature
far.
cows.
It
Well,
doesn't
that's
on
true.
camera. They don't know.
Those
You're
fuzzy
giving away
ones that I
secrets.
was talking about, they have miniature ones of those. We could get one of those and just
Therapy
hang out with it.
cows.
Therapy cow. But,
Just it. Honestly, just saying the phrase makes you feel better.
a therapy cow.
I,
Say that 13 times
see
fast.
I see a therapy cow.
Okay. All right. Well, don't even just topic switch right here.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
something that you mentioned just a second ago that
Yeah.
I'm really kind of almost looking forward to, sort of, I guess, or have always looked forward, a camping deal. You were talking about the camping deal just earlier.
The
You mean with the
Colorado
dog?
The
camping?
Colorado
Are
camping.
you gonna go eat
Go
some
camping in Colorado and
some
eat
poop?
and eat some poop and get high
High.
off of poop. No, not that.
That's
But
gross.
camping, it's summertime.
Yeah.
But my question is, when is it too hot to camp?
Always.
When?
I
No.
would say
Right now.
I would say once the afternoon highs reach 90, 92. Well, it's more about the evening lows.
Right.
Afternoon highs are one thing, but if you're camping out in the desert,
Yeah.
nighttime lows drop down way further than they do
Yeah,
elsewhere.
the last time we camped was rough. Me and
but
my
if it's-
sister ended up sleeping
yeah.
in my car because it
Yeah.
got so cold.
See, she's got a Nissan Juke, and the thing you can
You
put
those
all the
seats
seats down, and
Right.
you can. It's
It's
like
huge.
a queen size mattress
yeah,
almost
it's-
in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And it's perfect, and I think that's awesome. So if you got a Nissan Juke and you want to go
Put
camping,
those seats
Right.
down.
you
Lay
only have a couple of
comforter
you.
down.
Yeah, it's a
Sleep in
perfect
it.
thing.
Yeah.
But then again, I just got my truck recently,
Yeah.
and it's
So you
a
got a
4-door
pickup. It's a
full
pickup.
cab, not a truck. I know what a
Pickup.
truck is,
Yeah.
but it's a full cab, and the whole back seat can practically just
See,
lay
everything
flat.
you all just described, that's not camping.
Right. But that's my question. So if it's too hot, you have to go get in your vehicle, or it starts raining, or something like that? Because this is the 21st century. We're not in the 60s.
Okay,
we
so
don't
you're
have,
not-
we have another option.
You're not talking about what kind? Are you talking about like leisurely camping?
Right. We're not going to go.
So you're not
Mountain
you're
hiking.
not going like naked and afraid camping.
Right. Why would
Well, no,
would I
that's
do
the
that?
story. I'm talking about
I'm
like
asking,
where you go into.
but
the
I'm
wilderness.
asking for reference for future camping trips for everybody. Unless you're
Oh, you're talking about the sunny side up.
camping trip.
Let's call it sunny side up, fully clothed.
Okay, we weren't
Camping
talking
trip.
about clothes. We're talking about
No,
camping
but-
in
You
the first
mentioned
place.
Naked and Afraid.
What is going on?
No, as opposed to the show Naked and Afraid, this would be
Right.
fully clothed.
Oh. So sunny side up, fully
Fully
clothed.
Yeah,
clothed.
keep your pants on.
Yeah,
Camping trip.
You know what? I am for that. I like that. So, but that's my question.
So where are we going to go?
What is your alternative?
Is it a mountainous? Is it a mountainous region? Is it the
Anywhere you
plains?
pick
Is
it, it doesn't
coastal
matter.
Region?
It doesn't
North,
matter, but
south?
you've got. It doesn't matter, but you've got your whole get up when you're there. You've got the pickup. You've
Okay.
got the juke.
Right.
You've got your tent.
Yeah.
You've got
Are we going
all your
inflatable
supplies.
mattresses?
But Yeah, we can do
'Cause
that.
that's
too.
important.
Sure. But here's my thing.
Yeah.
At what point do you get called a wuss because you go to the vehicle? Where's the
You can't,
breaking
it's
point?
just like everything else. You can't be the first one. The first one that gets out of any situation is always going to be the wimp. Once
Sure.
the first one goes, you're good.
See, I don't even care. If I'm uncomfortable, I'm gonna get in the car.
So
Right.
well, it
And
just
cool
depends on-
down or heat up.
It depends on the goal. If we're talking about trying not to wimp out, you got to hang in there for a while.
Sure.
But if you're just talking about being comfortable for comfort's sake, I'll tell you where I like to camp out: my living room and my bed.
Well, that's a good one.
That's
I
a
guess
camping trip for me.
that is a camping trip.
Order
I
some
think
pizza.
I think camping is like kind of a guy thing
Mm-hmm.
that if you look at it and you're trying to the whole wimping out thing. I think it's such a different situation. Like say if Angel and I were to go camping, than if it was me and some buddies that all had our own tents and stuff or whatever. I'd probably be able to survive longer out in the heat in that situation.
Oh, he is going down a dark, terrible path right now. Keep talking.
No, we're gonna cut it
Be
off
real
right there.
careful.
Treading on thin water. But anyways,
Angel's looking at you funny.
it
He's
is.
telling you.
Yeah, I know it. That's not anything. But I'm just saying, where's that line? Because future camping trips. But I guess we'll
For me,
find that out.
camping. If you want me to define what I like to do in a camping trip, is that
I don't know. Whatever you
What's
want.
a-
Camping.
To me, camping trip has the vehicle in case something goes really crazy.
Right.
Like if somebody gets hurt, or
Sure.
or that it gets really bad and stormy.
So instead of being a sleeping device, it's more of a
it's a rescue.
rescue
Just in case.
device.
It's your
Okay.
life support.
I'm for it.
Okay,
I'm for it.
It's got to have a tent of some sort, and it could
Sure.
be any tent, a 2-person tent. It could be a luxurious multi-room tent.
Yeah.
But I think it has to
Those are
go on the
cool, by the
ground.
way.
And if you're an experienced camper in the wilderness, you know that you don't put it on a pile of rocks.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
You find a nice grassy.
You'll find that out real quick
floor,
anyways.
Or you go ahead and you use the inflated mattress.
Sure.
I mean, the inflated. I know it's not roughing it, but it's 2019 for crying out
Right,
loud.
like I
Use
said,
the
it's the
inflated
21st century.
So
Let's
you have
use
the
it.
tent and the inflated mattress and the sleeping bags.
Right.
All right.
Right.
And then you got to have a backpack, and you got to have the water canteen or a camel pack or whatever you're doing
Yeah.
to take with you. You got to build a fire. I'm
Yeah.
talking about the traditional camping experience.
I'm just for it. I like to go camping. It's the
Yeah.
summertime. Get out there and go camp,
Yeah.
people.
It's too hot.
So, but
See, that's
Not
where we're
down.
different. Like I like to
I
go
don't-
camping.
I don't like to camp out when it's 90 degrees.
No, it's miserable.
If
Yeah.
it's 90 degrees at 10 p.m., it's too hot to camp
well,
out.
and especially when you've spent all day
Right.
outside and you want to go
Yeah.
and sleep in a
Yeah.
cool area and you're just
Yeah.
sleeping outside where it's still hot.
And then you just miss your bed. And I miss
Craziest camping experience for you so far.
For me so far, I haven't camped. I mean, well, okay, no, I got
You
it.
got one from
I've
your
got
childhood.
One. I do.
Yeah.
The National Turkey like the Federation.
Wild Turkey Federation.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So, what was I? Maybe
You were
10, 11?
You weren't
maybe?
even that old. I don't
Really?
think. You're maybe 6, 7, 8.
I vividly remember it, though. It was
Yeah.
crazy. So, you used to have a little Ford Festiva. And if you don't know what a Ford Festiva
It's a
is,
little
you need to
bitty
look it
thing.
up right now. You're going to want to buy
It
it
makes a
immediately.
VW Bug look like a limo.
Immediately.
Yeah.
So, we go to this camp,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's just, for the boys camp. We're going to learn how to
But
fish.
it
We're
wasn't
going to
just
learn
there
how
were
to...
there were girls there too.
Right.
But it was definitely a father-son thing.
Right. So we
So-
did that, but what I don't know what night it was. All I remember
matter.
is it turned nighttime. We set up the tents, and I remember people having those huge, luxurious tents that you just mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Like, man, I would love one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know anymore. I'm going to say it that way because those tents ended
Wait.
up getting flooded when the big old storm came in and told us, "Hey, what's up?" Well, let me tell
It
you
was
this.
worse than a big old storm.
It was a tornadic,
was a tornado.
multi-tornadic storm while we're in a little Ford Festiva in a small tent that we bought. But we never got flooded out. That's
No.
the thing. Like, we did perfect, but those
'Cause-
guys with the huge,
well,
luxurious tents are just
Let me
like,
tell you
oh,
what
we're
happened.
done.
The big luxurious tent people got out of their tent and jumped in their car
And
and
then
left
it just
the tent
went
open.
all crazy.
Okay, we I'm sitting there watching the weather really closely. We were never in any danger, but it was scary because the wind was blowing
Okay,
like.
but
And you're
the
in this
lightning
little
would
tent
strike.
that
The
could
light-
possibly at any
Yeah.
second blow
The
away.
lightning would strike, and I'd see the tornadoes in the background.
Yeah, they were
That
all
is
there.
dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're 100 miles
all right.
away. If I can see them,
So-
it's too close. When I'm camping with a Ford Fiesta,
But we
Festiva,
were
whatever it is.
We were camping out in a wilderness tent that's designed to fold down when winds hit it. As long as you stay inside it, because it's weighted down, it's not going to go anywhere.
Oh, God, I remember
you
that.
You are the rock, and I'm telling you, it was good till it started hailing. When the hail started coming down a little bit, that was a little scary.
Yeah.
But the tent literally laid down on us like a blanket.
I remember
we were
that.
laying in that tent, and it was
It
flat
just
like a
was
blanket.
flat.
The wind was blowing like 50, 60
Oh,
miles
dude.
an hour.
It was nuts.
Might have been more than that.
I thought
that
that
your
we
first
were
time ever
going
camping?
to die.
And you were
yeah,
just-
I'm
You're
like,
pretty cool.
No, I was not.
You weren't
I
screaming or
I
anything.
remember. Well, no, because on the inside, I was literally like physically
But
dying.
you were
Like,
hugging
I'm
me.
just-
You were hugging me so close. You're like, don't let go like that.
Yeah,
So.
I thought I was literally. I did,
So that
treated
was
it-
your
I think
first
that was
time
my
camping?
first time camping.
Yeah.
So
and then that was your experience.
my thing is that what we just talked about earlier. I schooled all of you because I didn't
What?
wimp out.
I got you. You didn't win.
So-
All right.
There
you were
it
too
is.
scared to wimp out.
So it doesn't matter. I'm just saying that I win that competition that I
Any-
just created myself.
Did you see any
But-
wild animals? No animal stories, though. I think there were cows in the pasture next
Yeah,
to
I
us.
bet we didn't
So
really
did-
see like
well,
there were no turkeys.
that was before cow
Because
therapy, so you couldn't even go.
They called it the Turkey Federation or whatever,
Wild
and I didn't
turkey.
see
It
any
was-
turkeys
It was fishing and hunter safety
and tornadoes.
and tornadoes.
That's okay. If I took one thing away from that, it was the tornadoes. That's the one thing that I remember
right.
from my camping trip, and that we're gonna stick to it. But I missed, and I still miss my. I mean, when I go camping, you're right. I want to be home, and I want to play my video games.
Yeah.
Things like that. So
yeah. All right.
I've been playing a lot of those.
Angel. So how many camping experiences have you had?
Not many.
Goofy. Anything goofy yet?
I don't think so.
All right.
we went
'Cause
to the
nothing
dunes
really
just
happened at the
recently.
dunes.
Yeah, and nothing really
It was
crazy.
more just so funny because my sister Destiny runs very hot, and we were in this little car. The Nissan Jukes aren't very big,
No.
so all the windows got super fogged up.
Oh, I remember.
Oh.
and it was
Yeah.
so like wet inside that car that started dripping on the windows.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Because her heat, her body heat.
Well, and she
Just-
talks a lot, and like
Yeah.
we were laughing and messing around
I
and
wanna
stuff.
go
So it got
ahead-
super hot inside that car.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and apologize, Destin. Intentionally mean to throw you under any
But
bus
you're
during
there.
the production of this show.
You are there though.
Sunny side up.
So
It was Destiny's fault.
I have the penultimate camping story, and don't
Okay.
think I've ever told you guys this. Maybe
Let's do
I
it.
have.
well, let's
We
do it.
went college years ago.
Great. That's
Buddy of
period.
mine
That's all you
goes-
gotta say.
Buddy of mine goes in the middle of the summer. He goes, before we go back to college in the fall, we got to take a road trip. I go, where are we going? He goes, we're going to the Teton National Forest,
Okay.
northwestern Wyoming, right in between Jackson Hole and Yellowstone
And
Park.
You were still down here in Oklahoma
I'm
at the time.
yeah. He shows up on a Harley.
Good idea.
And he's
Great.
driving. He drove 2 hours to get to my house, and he looks at me. Before I had a Festiva, I had a Pinto
Yeah.
without
Heard
air
of that
conditioning. Okay. He looks at me and he goes, "We're not taking the Harley. We're taking your Pinto because my butt is numb, and we've got another 22 hours to get where we were going." So 24-hour road trip straight through to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh.
We get there, and we had sleeping bags, 2 or 3 changes of clothes.
Thinking about that makes me nauseous.
But what he didn't tell me is his good friend from college was the head park ranger at Teton National Park. We
Okay.
drive up into the park, and you've never been there, but you will someday. And it is pristine. It's gorgeous. You've seen him in pictures, the big jagged peaks with the
Yeah.
lake in front of it.
Yeah.
That's right where we were. That picture
Wow.
right there in the park area. We got to camp out.
He was
the head
actually
park
in those
rangers-
famous pictures. A
Oh,
couple of them.
I am. And we camped out there for 3 days, and here's all we did. We drove down to Jackson Hole, which is about 20 minutes south, went to the bar where Every Which Way But Loose was filmed with Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
Sat in Clint Eastwood's chair,
Okay.
got a little hammered.
You did everything but camped.
We drove back to the campsite and passed out and probably threw up a couple of times in the
Oh.
park ranger's his front yard. And then in the mornings, we would take a bath in Glacier Lake. Glacier Lake is a glacier lake.
Wow.
And it's just above free ultimate camping experience.
Yeah, I guess that's good, but
and then we drove back
you've had that and the naders.
with
so
with neighbors. Yeah.
man.
Anyway, I don't know where that went. I don't know. We got off on a tangent.
But it is what it is. So
yeah.
I would love to go to some national parks. I've always,
Yeah.
I've always wanted to, but we were talking
we
about
have some national parks around here.
Yeah, but we were talking about like
We've been to a national park. The
Yeah.
Sand Dunes is a national
that
park.
is the national park. I mean,
And the Gloss
there was
Mountains.
dirt bikes involved. I had to
You grew
go.
up around northwest Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But like Mount Rushmore. You've never been to Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I would love to go see something like that.
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone's cool. I've been
or
there.
the Appalachian Mountains. There's
Right.
a lot of parks that direction. There's
There's
parks
a lot
out.
in the Appalachian
There's
Mountains.
Yosemite out to the west.
We could
There's
go.
a lot of parks.
Absolutely, but that's the other thing is like finding when to go to these places.
Yeah.
You just got to go. You just
Yeah.
got to make time.
It's
Grand
true.
Canyon is actually the ultimate ultimate camping experience.
That's one of the top ones I really want to go visit is the Grand
It
Canyon.
was
I've heard
so
nothing but good about it.
Cool.
But
It was so cool.
if I had but if I had to pick a trip,
Mhm.
like if one thing I wanted to go do or
Yeah.
where I'd want to go do, I honestly like, man, Grand Canyon's at the top, but I'd also, it's kind of at the top along with Yellowstone and things like that. But
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore too.
yeah.
I mean, I want to see stuff like that, but
Let's go.
yeah, sure. Let's end it now. Let's go, right?
We're out. let's just get the keys and go.
Yeah, sure. That's a good thing.
Anybody
There's
going to
also
tell mom?
money I don't have, so
Who's going to tell mom we're going?
not me.
She's your mom.
Yeah, okay, but I'm not telling her.
Karen, we're going to leave now.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We got to go
But-
anyway.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
time to
know.
leave.
You need
It's
to go
not
to
time to
Washington
leave.
State.
Washington State.
Yeah.
What's it? I mean, I know there's Seattle, but what?
It's
what
just
parks?
beautiful.
Are there big parks up there?
I'm not for sure. There's an
Yeah.
island right off from Seattle. It's called
Okay.
Whidbey Island, and it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever
Wimpy?
been. Whidbey.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Wimpy.
And it almost, but the rain is what bothers me.
Oh,
I'm
I
not
loved
sure.
it.
I
Yeah.
don't like
We
the
went
rain.
in the middle of summer. It was like June or July when it's supposed to be super hot, and
Yeah.
it was only like 70 degrees. It was so
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
We-
I'd like that.
we have
But
to go somewhere. I mean, we could take the podcast with us.
yeah, we could, and that's the thing that I'm really excited
Record
about
on
is
the
to do
road.
that stuff.
On the road. Hey, we'll get. I tell you what. You want to sponsor on the road with Sunny Side Up? Call us,
Yes.
and we'll.
Yep.
We don't have a phone number
Well,
yet.
we don't have a phone number. What you need to do is
Email
email us.
us.
Email us.
So
You got it in your head?
I
got
mean,
it.
I've got it there.
You got-
So Sunny Side Up Podcast at storiesandscoopsmedia.com.
Nicely done.
So that
That's
we
my
I
son,
have it.
by the way.
Okay, I have it in the description of each episode, so
Right.
you can see that.
Yeah,
So if
sure.
you find an email, contact us. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You could whatever you want to talk about. If you want to talk about where we should
Right.
go, what we should do, what would you like
If you have
to
any
see,
ideas for the show, let us know.
Let it
Don't tell us where you think we should go.
But
You
But-
can still tell us.
I mean, that's
we just
fine.
might not go.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Okay.
What's the yellow blinky bouncing thing behind us?
What's the yellow blue? That's where our voices are being
that's us.
captured.
That's cool.
See? Look, look. Noise. See that? If you're on the
Alright.
audio part, you're not
Yeah.
understanding what's happening
Sunny
at all
Side
right
Up-
now.
Sunny Side Up podcast available on all major podcast platforms, iPhone, Android, et cetera, and soon to be on every podcast platform known
Yeah.
to mankind.
It's
Seriously.
awesome. I mean,
And
if
the
you've got
YouTube
an
channel.
iPhone, you just pull it right up on your
Right,
podcast
well, and
app.
I think
It is
Android
that
works
easy.
the same way, doesn't it?
Yeah, you just
Okay.
you pull it up on the podcast.
Yeah, it's
as
there,
far as I
Google.
know,
It's on
now,
Google.
don't quote me.
Well, it's on Google.
But it's on Google, so you
Yeah.
can pull that up. But
Yeah,
you know,
and on Apple.
iHeart, it's on iHeart. You know,
Tune in radio.
Tune in.
It's on all the apps.
So
Yep.
you can find us anywhere,
Because
everywhere,
not-
whatever you want.
Not
We're
everybody
here for
can
you.
drive down the road watching the YouTube channel.
Right.
That's kind of scary.
Right. That is scary. Don't suggest that. If you're doing that, probably
Just
go
don't.
to our audio version, then come back.
There you go.
If you want to see our pretty faces, we'll still be here.
Sunny
Don't
Side Up
worry.
at storiesandscoopsmedia.com.
Yes.
Sunny Side Up podcast.
It's been fun.
yeah.
Second episode,
Yeah.
guys. We're
Angel,
yeah.
you're getting the hang of this.
Yeah, trying.
No, you're good. It's good.
Keep tuned in if you're on
Yeah.
the YouTube. After the podcast is coming up next. If
Oh,
you're
no.
not, we will
All right.
see you next episode.
Yeah. it'll be
3.
Trace.
Trace.
Yeah.
I'm not good at Spanish. I'm
I can
very
tell.
white.
See ya.
See you guys next week.
So this is after the podcast.
This.
What did we do before the podcast?
I don't know what we did before the podcast. Not exist?
What did we do before smartphones?
I don't know. What did we do before video games? that's my question. We're going to talk about video games on here on the
Oh.
Sunnyside app after the podcast.
Okay.
Only on YouTube. Right here.
Right.
Only
How many
on
times are you going
YouTube.
to say right here?
Right
Because
now.
right here, because it is what it is right here.
So on after the podcast,
Yes.
since it's exclusive to YouTube, we could do more video-centric stuff.
We
Yes.
could.
Like we could make Angel taste baby food.
Yeah, we
Unlabeled
could
baby.
That's a
definitely
pass,
do that.
but-
So we're gonna do some fun things here
Okay.
on after the podcast
Mm-hmm.
soon, I'm sure. So
Is it
you're
still family friendly?
definitely gonna want to. It's always family friendly,
Yeah.
but it depends. I think we're more of a
My-
PG-13
My
family friendly.
sister Amanda Barrett is angry that in the first podcast we didn't drop her name.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Hi, Amanda.
And we really didn't drop her name in the second podcast because this is only on
After
YouTube.
the podcast, but well, how she listen to it? Do you know?
I don't know. She just
We have to find out.
literally this moment messaged me
Yeah.
saying I did not hear my name drop.
Oh no, that's not a good deal. You can take care of that. I'm gonna let you handle that one.
Sorry, Amanda.
Well,
Barrett.
she got mentioned. You're
Sister.
mentioned now.
You
So
did, you
we're
did
here.
get mentioned.
Well, episode 3, we'll say something.
Episode 3, we need to drop a lot of names because there are a lot of thank yous. There are a
Yep.
lot of people that
Yep.
have
We will
helped
do that.
do some stuff that
A lot
did
of
what
thanks
they
and
did.
yous.
Yeah.
So we will do that. But
If there is an episode 3, it's going to depend on ratings.
why are you dooming? Okay, you did this the first episode. You're so doom and gloom.
No.
We're not gonna get fired. We're here. We're ready. Who's going?
What if the
you gonna
ratings
fire
are
yourself?
too low? What if they come in and they cancel us?
Well,
they cancel the show.
Guess it'd be like that.
Continue on.
Wait, no, I guess we're our own production staff, our own directors. What's
What is
that
that?
mean?
I don't peace sign something.
That's
thrown
not
in
a
I got a
peace
question.
sign.
What's
Yeah.
this? What's that mean?
What?
I've seen you do this thing that you do with. What is that?
I don't do.
What is it?
That's
What's
a
the
goal
symbol?
for a paper football. Is what that is. I don't. I don't know.
Do you know you do some kind of weird symbol, some kind of thing, and it's
I probably if it's something that I'm thinking of, I cannot do it on the.
okay. It's a,
Daniel will know.
It's a Daniel.
The shockers. And that's
Oh,
we
never
cannot
mind.
do that
No,
here on
it-
the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's not even
The,
PG-13.
the moment
No,
that
that's
you
R.
drop, the moment you drop the name Daniel, we were finished.
We're done.
Daniel can be the code word.
Daniel is going to have to join
Dan-
us here on
Daniel's
after the podcast soon.
Just Daniel's name. That's the code word for
Yeah.
we can't go down
Daniel.
that road.
Well, that's a Daniel.
It's a Daniel.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But here on After the Podcast, we have
Mhm.
a lot of ideas we're shooting around. Specifically, that we should have some guests on After the Podcast
Mhm.
and on the podcast too at some points.
Yeah.
Of course. But After
Yeah.
the Podcast is kind of our laid back moment that some of the stuff we can't do
Why couldn't we do it?
on audio.
Why?
Because if you want to see us
Like
eating
the baby food
food,
testing.
Oh, I see.
that
the
won't really
yeah.
make that much
antics,
sense
the
on
goofy,
just
the
audio.
goofier side of us.
Yeah.
so I think that's honestly a good idea. And these will run for however
Yeah.
long you want to run it for. So
This
we're here.
coffee tastes like weak iced tea,
It's probably because it's iced tea.
and we don't even have a logo.
We
I'm
need
We
a
need
logo
to
on
order some of
Yep.
those mugs.
Yep.
kind of ticked that those other guys have logos on their mugs.
You're talking Good Mythical Morning again. We're back to it.
No, I'm just saying. I kind of
Yeah.
like those guys. There's
I
a
do
lot.
too.
I like a lot of YouTube channels that are fun. Some of them are uncouth, but I just like to.
Hold
I just
on.
want that
What?
sunny side up uncouth.
What is that?
That's a uncouth would be you.
Dictionary.
Uncouth would be you
Uncouthing.
on a bad day. Uncouth is. It's the absence.
Your
of
detox.
couth. It's the absence of couth. If it's couth, it's cool. It's uncouth. If it's not.
What? I'm not sure what's going on. Anyways,
Let me let me look it up.
Yeah, why don't you look
in the
that up?
dictionary for you, in the Pictionary for you.
in the phonetionary
Yeah.
that we've got.
This is
that
what
was
we
just,
should
that's-
do.
The other day I was thinking about
Uh-huh.
we were talking about dictionaries for some reason that Google is really your ultimate dictionary now. Like
Yeah.
that's you don't even like who is Webster's like have a website now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Un-
good. Because I was worried about them and their
uncouth.
business.
Lacking good manners, refinement, or grace.
So it's
Some
like
of them are
edgy.
dirty.
Uncouth.
They're edgy.
Some of them are edgy and dirty.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. You could have just
Uncouth. I knew what it meant, but I couldn't describe it.
So,
yeah.
we talking about video games.
We're
now?
going to talk about video games. This is our
All right.
today's topic on After the Podcast is video games and honestly like there's a lot of them that I like.
Why do I not get to play video games with you? why do you never invite me over
because
to y'all's apartment to play video games?
Here's what. It's kind of an open invite, but here is.
Well, no, I'm just wondering.
Well, here's the thing: like video games are so different than they used to be, and I kind of miss it. I'm gonna be honest with you. So hold on before your thought comes out of the mouth.
Okay.
That my thing is that video games used to be. You'd get together and have what we would call a LAN party, which is a local area network party where you hook all your Xboxes
Even
in
I
together.
know LAN.
And you would play Halo together. I remember doing that, or the Modern Warfare days. But that's when it started to evolve really into what it is now, where it's just you're all connected on the internet and you don't have to be together. And I get it; it's convenient, but I do miss those days. Like that is what
Getting together and
Nintendo is doing.
Where you had
Mario Kart or Smash Brothers or
Yeah.
whatever it is. I mean, I think it's the most genius thing ever to have a console still.
It's appealing to that nostalgia.
But here's my thing. Just the other day, though, they launched Switch Online. That was something that we would never thought was really going to happen. And it is a thing now, much like Xbox Live or PlayStation Gold, things like that. Much like that, Nintendo's kind of going towards that now.
Yeah.
And so... I don't know.
What makes me sad is that since they came out with the Nintendo, they came out with the mini Switch. They're getting rid of the DSs.
That's rumor.
And that was part of my childhood was the DSs. I loved mine. Still love mine. And they're getting rid of them,
Do you
supposedly.
see what he's doing over here?
I'm sending a video of
what
us.
are you doing?
I'm usurping your after
Okay, look. Here's the reoccurring theme. If you were here the first episode, of it's how the younger generation is not on their phones, but then you got the older guy over here on his phone.
Well, I can't text and drive, so I have to text at some point or never communicate.
You've got
with people.
time in between when we record these things, and
Yeah.
you know
He
this.
needs to record what we're doing now.
So I was.
Yeah, I guess
Look,
so.
my sister was angry that we didn't drop her name. I thought it would be nice to video a
There
little
it is.
segment behind the scenes of me doing. I mean, this is after the podcast,
Yeah,
right?
you're right, but
So we're a little bit more laid back.
I guess.
Well, I'm just saying.
Put your phone down. No, I'm kidding. I don't really care. But anyways,
anyway,
okay. So
so
your
video
game,
games.
your video game experience back, when you were growing up. I mean, tell me about it.
What's the first
What?
video? What? Okay.
Did you play Pong? Is that it? That's all you played was Pong.
when they invented it?
Sure. Okay. I was trying to be nice, but
No.
you just dated yourself.
That's okay. I
So-
don't care, people. I mean, it's the whole point, right? The description of Sunny Side Up is what happens when a much older Gen Xer meets a couple of millennials,
Yeah.
and if by definition I'm almost a baby boomer.
Sure.
Okay, so
And I'm in between stages. I'm
I-
not a millennial or
yeah, what
what's
is that
after
other thing?
millennial?
Generation reboot.
Z?
I don't know.
I think it's Z or something. I don't
I
Gen
know.
thought that was
Z.
the zombies.
Other people that just were born recently.
I'm in between.
Yeah.
I remember when barely, but I remember when Pong was invented.
Yeah. Well, okay.
So-
Okay. Let me go.
so what do you-
when was Pong invented for you? Was it in your college days? Was it in
No.
your high school days?
No,
Whoa.
when I was
Was it-
like grade school, like
grade
junior
school.
That's
high.
why he said he
Okay.
barely
All right, all right.
remembers it.
So that's probably okay. You played
So-
Pong a little bit, but
so
tell
let
me
me
about
f-
your college days.
So you mean to
What did
fast
you
forward
play?
to sometime after Space Invaders was
Sure.
invented?
Like right now, I'm playing a lot of Destiny 2. Like that's
So-
right now. That's my game. But what were you playing back then?
Oh, I see.
Like in your 20s?
there was a video game called, I think it was called Gorf,
Yeah.
Gorf,
Sure.
and you went through the stages of. It was a combination of a weird Space Invaders and certain. This was early, and I mastered it to
Yeah.
the point that I could put a quarter in and play all day long because I had the sequences figured out.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But-
like
But you started out as a space cadet.
I'm gonna be honest though, and
Yeah.
if I'm gonna say you hate me, I'm sorry.
No,
But no, not you. Just everybody watching. If you hate me, I'm sorry, but everybody knows this is true. Maybe not on some of them, but when you're playing the new video games now, and you've probably experienced this. Say you've played video games with me before, even when the 360 was out, and even when the Xbox
No,
One is out.
I'm
So you
not
play them
living
now,
in a box.
But no. People are always like, "Oh, I want the old video games back."
No, you
but have
don't.
you
No, you
ever
don't.
tried to go
you
back
don't want
to those?
the old video
Right.
games.
Well, that's why they've remastered them.
And then people
People
barely
or they become super popular
Right.
because they're remastered to fit today's graphics.
right. So, but the thing is, like, I find myself, like, even if I look on my friends list, I'm watching you people. When you talk about how excited you were for Spyro and Crash Bandicoot coming out, I was so excited for Spyro to come out. And I'm going to be guilty of this too. But there are some video games that are just going to be dated even if they get remastered or anything, because Spyro is great and all, but, like, the mechanics...
It's still old school
I'm going to be
mechanics.
hated for saying this. I still love the game. Spyro's my stuff.
You did play it for a while.
I like it.
What's your favorite video game of all time?
My favorite video game of all time. There's, I play so many that's hard to pick.
You used to
there's
especially
got
play
to be
a ton.
one.
But, oh man, I don't. Can I think on that for a second? Why don't we go down the road
is it
here?
Not, what's the one where where you battled each other in cars?
Twisted Metal.
Twisted Metal. What about?
I like that one a lot, but
fun.
it was great fun. But
the guy with the tires for arms.
I don't know. Oh, what was his Axel? I think was his name.
Axel.
Yeah,
that was a fun game.
That was a fun game. I do miss that one, but they haven't. That's the thing.
I
Like
know. It's out
that
there.
kind of game was almost like futuristic for its time.
Yeah.
Because like those are the type of games that got super popular. But then it's like they don't make those games anymore. There has not been a Twisted Metal in years.
I'll tell you when the line switched from what you guys are talking about early video games and like I remember like there was one called Moon Landing, which was a black and white Atari game that just had the lunar module and it would just drift down.
But these days that would be so boring. But back then I bet it was like crazy.
But those video and then we graduated to. Midway, they call it was a Midway company.
Games.
It was like Missile Command.
Does Midway still do stuff?
I don't know, but and then there was the Space Invaders and the different variations of Space Invaders. Then, but by the time we got to Nintendo 64. I think
Nintendo 64 was awesome, though.
I think
that was another
Nintendo
one that was before
really
its time.
changed the game.
I think Nintendo 64 drew a line in the sand.
Yeah.
And anything from 64 forward was at least your brain and your eyes could actually follow it.
Yeah.
And my favorite game of all time is Star Fox.
Oh my gosh,
Star
really?
Fox.
Nintendo
How did I
64,
not know that?
Nintendo
That's
64 version of Star Fox. I don't know what Star Fox is now.
No, it's still. I mean, there's some games that have been mediocre.
But does it have the
There's a newer
feeling?
Star Fox,
Is it the
isn't
same feeling, or has it been completely reinvented, gone to 3D and all that stuff?
I mean, it's obviously the graphics are today's standards.
Yeah.
But
Right.
my feeling whenever I've played some of the recent ones has still been like when you're flying around in the ship and you have your whole
You just
crew
go do
talking
like-
to you.
Yeah.
And it's still there.
Okay.
But there are other aspects that they've added in. You can get out of the ship. You can go around and things.
It was your Uncle Cody's game.
Yeah,
and
I remember playing it.
I used to when he would go outside, I would sneak in his bedroom and play Star Fox.
Oh, you know what? I think I now
don't
that we
remember
talk
that.
about that.
I don't think you remember.
Well, no, my
that.
favorite game. Of that time.
Yeah, no,
at
I know
least.
it's changed a lot.
No, okay.
but-
And like I said, first of all, let me just apologize earlier for saying Spyro, like that it's still a good game. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that it's past its time. But this is another one that is, again, I'm going to say it myself, that this game today probably wouldn't be great if they made it the same way they made it back then. If it's a complete remaster, a remake would be awesome.
Right.
So I used to, Uncle Cody's PlayStation. And I'm not sure
But-
if he ever knew that I would play it or not.
I think
but
there was no
saving.
way of there was no recording of it.
He didn't
necessarily.
have. Well, the thing is, like, he had memory cards back then. Remember memory cards? Those
Right.
little 8
Yeah.
megabyte memory cards.
Yeah.
Now it's
So-
nothing. So we're getting recorded again.
Yeah, we're just
Hello.
look. If I do this, if I cross the streams, will something happen?
Something will
I
happen.
don't
We're
know.
going to go into an infinite void of somethingness. But anyways, so I think my favorite game back then with, especially is like Cody's PlayStation.
Extreme Zoom.
That would you quit? You're,
Sorry.
You know the cringy dad thing that's
I'm
apparent.
doing the crazy dad.
You're doing the cringy dad thing.
Yeah.
So I would have to say that Final Fantasy VIII was
Yes.
Okay.
my absolute. But
I
the thing is,
remember-
I've played it nowadays, and I don't
What's the one that
think it's
they're
that fun.
remaking?
They're remaking 7, and
7.
everybody's like, "Oh, just swears that 7's the best." But
Yeah.
in my opinion, which I'm not saying is
Eight's
the right
best to
one,
you.
8 was the best to me. But they talked about remaking 8 as well. And the thing is, I'm excited for it. But here's my thing: they have to do it right.
I don't think
Because
they're going to completely remake
that-
it. It's just going to be a remastering.
no, I think they're going to remake it. They announced a
yeah.
remake along with 7.
Huh.
How
So,
far? Yeah.
but like the platforming that it was on the PlayStation, you would go in an area and it would have to load into the next one, and,
Yeah.
and the actual area wouldn't move around. Your guy would move around,
Right.
and the map would just stay there. So you'd
No,
move into
I
the next
remember.
area, and so
So-
that's great and all. But like, if they remaster it, they have to make it good.
Yeah.
They can't have that. You see what I'm saying?
So what about the video games like? Oh man, where you build stuff? The name of my brain.
Like
shut.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. What about Minecraft?
That's good.
Versus Call of Duty or any of the or
See, this two
I feel like
completely
it's
different
too hard.
genres.
I know.
It's hard to compare because they are so completely
so
different.
Yeah.
so is one a video game Call of Duty versus Minecraft, which is more of a jigsaw puzzle. a learning
Minecraft's
tool.
more one you just relax and play.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily high stakes,
You're not
but
trying
Call
to
of Duty
win
is more of a
anything.
high stakes
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
just play it to relax.
So,
Right.
so as video games evolve, how far are you willing to go to be part of the experience? What happens if at some point, and it's already going to happen, it's actually with the basically mind meld with the computer, where you
Well, we're
start
in
to
VR.
think,
There's actually
Are-
an anime about that.
how
Yeah.
far are you willing to plug yourself into the system?
I think it becomes a point where a generation is going to be born into just that's a given,
That's what they're used to.
and so that's what
But- and that doesn't.
I'm a
Now we're
little
going
hesitant.
dark
Scare
here. We
you?
went from
I'm a little hesitant,
Just
probably
ask
because
Keanu Reeves how that whole thing works out.
Sure.
well, there's an anime called Sword Art Online,
Yeah.
and they get trapped in a video game.
Right.
It's a
Mhm.
big headset that they put
Yeah.
on, and this company made it attach to their
Mhm.
spinal cords. So if they
Right.
tried to take it off, they would die.
Yep.
yeah,
And if they
and
died
so
in the game, they died in real life.
that's scary to think.
And it's like
I mean,
you would
it's-
think that would never happen. You would hope that would never happen, but at this point, we don't even know.
Yeah.
To the extent of which I am in the system, we're at it right now. This is it. Me controlling the thing, recording the device. I'm not plugging my head into anything
Yeah.
because mostly I'm too terrified for people to find out what's actually in
But-
my brain.
Here's my thing, like with VR though, you've never tried VR.
I'm
You've
not
gotta
saying
try it.
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
It's
put
fun.
I'm not saying I wouldn't.
But
put
you don't
a hood
want
over
to
my head.
attach it to
I don't
yourself.
want it tapped into my brain.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
Ever.
Me neither. I
I'm
think
not
that's-
going there.
I think it's scary.
I'm never going to plug
That's
a
a
port
line.
into the side of my and there is actually just this month they've done experiments. I want to say it's in Europe. I can't remember where it was, where a young lady plugged into another young lady via the internet, and she would sit and think about.
Nope.
She would think about something, and 8 times out of 10, the other girl got it correct,
No.
and it was completely
Not
driven
happening.
by thought.
Not
Well,
happening.
That's just
Too
Is
much.
that kind of creepy?
yeah.
what
it's-
kind
so
of
it's
that
creepy.
is.
So millennials think that's creepy too.
Well, I think that
At
gets
least
to the
I do.
point
These
where
two do.
that's not something we're even used to. I think younger generations.
That's the next one.
They'll
Yeah.
get that's their norm.
That's beyond millennial.
and
Well, let me
Gen
let
Z.
me go back to the original point of this conversation
Yes.
as to how far back, way back.
yeah.
My grandfather,
Okay.
your great grandfather,
Yeah.
went to the original Charlton Heston 1960 whatever Planet of the Apes movie.
All right.
Goofy, dorky, terrible makeup, terrible special effects.
Loved it though.
Good
Was
storyline.
great. Yeah.
Good storyline.
The new Planet of the Apes is
Okay, but
so good.
Now think about
Okay, yeah.
think about the original one with Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
How unbelievably unreal the apes looked.
Yeah.
You knew that was Roddy McDowell, I think, playing
Right.
the chimpanzee.
Yeah.
And his mouth didn't even match really. But they did. I mean, for the time,
They
and
did
it
their
was an
best.
Academy
Yeah.
Award winning
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
My grandfather came away from that movie. It was the last movie he ever saw, and he lived 30 more years. Well, 20 more
He
years.
wouldn't
after
watch
that.
another movie.
He was done. He said, if that's where we're going, I am finished
He
with
would hate it
Hollywood.
today.
He was
Yeah.
terrified that was the direction. He truly
that they
it just,
took with that.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he was afraid that was where we were
Well,
going.
and was there anything like that happening? Like any movies like that going on?
No, I mean
That were
there-
popular.
There were a lot of. I mean, before that, no. I mean, Wizard of Oz did the special effects. That was in the
Yep.
30s. But
yeah.
Where they got
but
the color.
but they were mostly epic movies like Ben-Hur, Ten Commandments, and I don't know why I'm on a Charlton Heston theme, but no,
Nothing
the
like
idea of,
that,
and the
yeah.
idea of a doomsday type storyline
Wasn't.
wasn't a lot.
As big as it is
No.
now.
Yeah. Because
So
that's
I know.
everywhere.
There was a
Anyway,
while where doomsday movies were
It's all
very
about
popular.
It's all about what you're used to,
Yeah.
and I'm comfortable with even like being an older Generation Xer, I don't have a problem with revealing myself to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Just your comfortable aspect.
Because you adjusted well. Some people have not adjusted well.
I just don't want. I honestly don't want people knowing what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Which
No
isn't
one
normal.
does.
If I would
anybody
ever
want that.
plug in, I would have to have some kind of filter.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of I don't want to be hypnotized.
Let's
either.
not go there.
No, I'm just afraid of the stuff that's in my head that you just I don't. The stuff that you.
Yeah,
hold
that's
back
your
that you
own
don't-
thing.
Subconscious
Yeah.
that you don't really have tapped
Yeah,
into either. So it's
Right.
just kinda,
So you're like, I would say that if I, but I don't want to. But if your brain's just on flow, I don't know how you'd shut it off.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, I
But
don't know.
we went from video games to
well, can
Dark.
you guess what my favorite video game is?
yeah.
we
Let's
haven't
get
gotten
your
to
favorite
Angel.
video
Yeah,
game
please
real
bring
quick.
us back
Yes,
out of
yes.
this.
What is it?
Can you guess?
Um,
I actually have two.
probably Minecraft is one of them.
No, it's actually not one of them. I do really like
Well,
Minecraft.
Overwatch. Okay, Overwatch.
Overwatch
Let's
is
get
one
that
of
out of
them.
the way. Overwatch.
Overwatch is
for
definitely.
sure.
What's Overwatch about?
It's a first person shooter, team versus team sort of
Yeah.
thing. The creators of
Different
World of Warcraft
characters.
made that one.
Assassin.
Well, you can be, but
Yeah.
and other than that, I think you've been
She
playing this
can't
one
come
called.
over anymore. She's scaring
You're
me.
crazy. I think another one, Slime Rancher. Isn't that?
Oh,
the
I
name of it?
love Slime Rancher, but it's
It's not. Okay.
There's a game that tops that, and I've
All right.
been
Tell
playing
me.
it forever, and it's Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing.
I
knew
grew up
this.
with Animal Crossing,
But-
and that's one of those games. It's just a relaxing game.
Yeah.
Literally, you're spawned into this map. It's a town, and you get
Yeah.
a house, and you pay off a loan, and you get your house bigger, and you buy furniture to put in your house, and you interact with villagers. That's all you do in the game. There's
So
no real
simple.
objective.
Yep.
It's just a really relaxing,
relaxing
game to
type of
play.
I've
game.
been playing that game for a long time.
Shut your mouth. Well, that is our favorite video games, and we went to some sort of like theology or something. I don't know if that's theology, but
Not
I'm
theology.
just
Yeah.
trying to figure out how far video games are going.
they'll
Yeah.
go that
If you
far.
would allow me to, I love Call of Duty.
Well, there's, you know what?
And-
Okay,
and modern-
before we
and-
go,
and Modern
before we
Warcraft,
listen,
all of the-
listen,
yeah.
Modern Warcraft.
No, the
But
modern,
listen-
some of the
Let's-
modern warfare
Okay,
type
listen,
video
but listen to
games.
me. Listen, I got news for you
What?
because you probably haven't seen this.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up after the podcast, and this is for everybody that doesn't know, but I know you know if you've played
Most
Modern
know.
Warfare before.
Yeah.
So you know how they stopped at Modern Warfare 3, right?
Right.
Right. So they just announced they're not remaking, brand new Modern Warfare game coming out in like October.
Okay.
And so it's all the original characters from those other games.
Right.
But they've made all these Black Ops games in
Well,
between, which aren't necessarily bad, but they're not Modern Warfare
Which
because
was three? Which is the one you were playing that had him in you were in the European theater, I think, in World War II,
I think
and
that
you
was
got
just
to
Call of Duty
change-
World War. No,
or is that not Call of Duty? Was that something
it's,
else?
I don't think that's Call of
Or
Duty.
the one where you switch players and you switch. It's based on real battles.
Oh, that's Battlefield.
Battlefield. That was a cool game too.
Yeah. But
My
Modern
problem
Warfare.
is I
Yeah.
can't keep up.
Modern Warfare is what I played in high school.
I want to be able to just
What-
play
this
like
is what Curtis and I played in high school. Whenever he
Yeah.
was in this room we're sitting in,
Yeah.
and I would play in the other room.
yeah, they'd set two
Yeah.
TVs up and yeah.
Modern Warfare, but they're coming out with a new one.
Okay.
So they're rebooting the series. I'm so excited.
Mhm.
So Captain Price is coming back. I can't wait. Anyways, anybody that plays games knows. We will see you next week. This was a good after the podcast
Yeah.
show.
Was it? Because I felt
Great.
like we went a little dark.
It's okay. It's great.
Sometimes you
Everybody
gotta
that's
do
here
that.
is here.
Just
We
remember,
appreciate
we're
you.
watching you.
We appreciate
It's a
you so
two-way
much.
channel.
Let's not go
No?
there. No. no.
Okay,
So
never mind.
join us next week for another episode of Sunny Side Up, regular podcast and after the podcast. This has
Yep.
been a fun one. So we'll see y'all next week. Bye. See ya.
Bye.